All right, y'all. Before I start with today's episode of the N1 podcast, I just want to let y'all know that I do write sports articles on a website called Stadium Rant, and the link will be in the description. And also, I would like for y'all to follow my Instagram at @and1_podcast. The Instagram link will also be in the description. And finally, my Twitter at and1podcast23, but that link will also be in the description as well. All right, so recently we've had a bit of scoring outbursts. Joel Embiid scoring 70 points. We had Karl-Anthony Towns the same night scoring 62 points. We had Luka Doncic scoring 73 points literally later that week. And that same night, Luka scored 73. Booker puts up 62, also in a loss. Now, a lot of people are now saying that scoring is too easy. 70 is the new 50 or anything like that. You know, offense is getting out of hand and all that stuff. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. It's true. It is very, very, very true. I think defense, there needs to be a little more defense in the NBA. Defense is, and it's not even their fault. It's not their fault because the offense is at an advantage. Because after Jordan did his second retirement, the league was at an all-time low in attendance. Well, compared to now, not really. But they were at an all-time low in attendance. And obviously, you know what's more exciting than just physical defense? Scoring the basketball. More points is more time with the ball. More time with the ball means more exciting plays like posters or ankle breakers, game-winning threes, or back-to-back threes. You get what I mean. So, obviously, yeah, you're going to decrease the defense and increase the offensive advantage. At the time of this recording, all of this happened last week. Last Tuesday, at the time of this recording, Joel Embiid scored 70. Karl-Anthony Towns scored 62. Then, next thing you know, Friday, Luka dropped 73. Booker dropped 62. Explain that. And yes, offensive players, not just offensive players, but players in general are getting more talented. They're shooting the ball so much easier. Even Luka said himself that it's easier to score in the NBA than in the Euro leagues. Yes, I get that. A lot of players these days are talented. I'm not taking away nothing. I'm not taking away anything from their talent because they worked hard to make it to that point. And these are, in this generation of NBA players, they definitely are the most skilled players in the NBA, in NBA history, most skilled players, right? But it's just the fact that I don't want to say watch highlights. I don't necessarily condone watching highlights. But if you watch the highlights of Luka's game where he scored 73, a lot of plays, there was little to no defense on Luka. Sometimes guys are either sagging off on Luka or they're not playing as hard defense on Luka. And this man is just increasing his points, bro. You would think if somebody is scoring more and more points, you'd try and trap him. You try and force him to give up the basketball. You try something. I don't know. But, you know, that's just common sense, in my opinion at least. But, hey, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not an NBA coach. But that's what I think. If somebody's dropping like 40 points in the end of the first half, I'd probably make a defensive scheme, a defensive play on trapping him. Get him to the corner. Or trap him in the paint or something like that, bro. Make him pass the ball more often. I don't know. But it's getting too easy to score in the NBA now. And I want to say this. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I've seen this on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. But I'm not going to lie. That Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game did not exist, man. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't care about box score or nothing like that. There's no footage of that game. Explain to me how there's footage of Babe Ruth teaching kids how to throw a baseball. How we got footage of World War I. How we got footage of World War II. But no footage of Wilt scoring 100 points. Oh, but there's audio. I don't care. They weren't tracking his points. I know damn well those commentators were not really tracking his points, bro. They lost count and they say he scored 100 points. But speaking of that 100 points, eventually somebody's scoring 100 points. Eventually somebody will score 100 points. Because when I watched that Embiid game, Embiid had 59 points by the end of the third quarter, right? He sat down for the first half of the fourth quarter. and then he got up. He came back around like 6 to 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then he got his 70. Although granted, 21 of those 70 points came from the free throw line, and that's another issue. A lot of people think Joel Embiid is just a foul merchant. He's just baiting to get to the free throw line. James Harden did it too. James Harden did it in Houston, and that's just how it is, man. That's just how it is. When it comes to great scorers, obviously, like I said, the defense is at a disadvantage, especially if they're great scorers in the league. The defense is at a disadvantage because they want players to keep scoring the ball. More scoring is more and more excitement in the league. Look at the Indiana Pacers, right? I'm going to get back to Embiid, but look at the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are currently averaging about 124 to 125 points per game, which is the highest point per game average in the league and all time. That is the fourth highest point per game average of any team in NBA history. Now, there's still a lot of games left in the season, so it could go up, it could go down, but you get what I mean. That if you're a great scorer, great scoring team, whatever, you're at the advantage. And Joel Embiid, yeah, you can call him a foul merchant, but that's just how it is. If you're a great scorer, they're gonna try and get you to the line as much as possible. That's just how it works. You get slapped on the arm. You don't even got to get slapped on the arm because sometimes these foul calls are egregious. Sometimes players just flop left and right. Sometimes players hook their arms. James Harden. Sometimes players jump into their defender. A lot of players love doing that. James Harden, Luka Doncic, Trae Young. That's just to name a few. But it's too easy out there, man. It's too easy. And like I said, the defense is at a disadvantage 100% of the time. Because you can have both hands up and they still call a foul on you. You can have hands behind your back and they'll call a foul on you. But still, those games are very impressive. I'm not taking anything away from these offensive gifts. If you scored 59 points in 3 quarters, that's great. You scored 44 points in the first half, Karl-Anthony Towns. That's amazing. You scored 62 points in the game. Devin Booker. You scored 73 points in the game. Luka. That's great. That is amazing. But the same. Y'all remember when Westbrook was always getting triple doubles left and right? Like every game, this man was getting nearly a triple double or a triple double, and we got into the point where it was like, damn, a triple double doesn't even mean anything anymore. Like literally, like let me see, like 15 years ago, a triple double would have meant, damn, you are literally one of the top dogs in the league. And now almost anybody can get a triple-double in the NBA. If you're a starter, you have a high chance of getting a triple-double. Because Westbrook has desensitized us to getting triple-doubles that is just like every other thing now. And that's what I see with scoring in the NBA now. 30 points, oh, that's nice. Almost like the top 5 players in the league right now are either averaging 30 points per game or nearly 30 points per game. And right now, getting 40 points, oh, that's nice. Getting 50 points, oh, that's nice. Oh, 15 years ago, somebody dropped 50. Bro, oh my God, he just dropped 50. Now, it's just like, he dropped 50. Cool. He dropped 60. Cool. He dropped 70. Soon, we're going to be desensitized to 70. Because, well, last season, Donovan Mitchell and Damian Lillard both scored 70 in the same season. So eventually, we're going to be desensitized to these high-scoring games by individual players. Same way we've been desensitized to high-scoring games from teams. Teams out here scoring 70 points in the first half. Teams scoring 130 points by the end of the fourth quarter. No overtime. That's just how it is now in the league. More scoring, more viewers, because it's more exciting. And I want to get to something else. I just got done watching a bit of First Take, and I saw Stephen A. Smith. He wasn't going directly off on Tyrese Haliburton, but he was going off on what Tyrese Haliburton said. Because Tyrese Haliburton has a complaint about the 65-game rule now. If you don't know, now NBA players have to play at least 65 games to be required, to be considered, not even required, to be considered for any sort of awards. Whether it's All-NBA or MVP or All-Defensive, you get what I mean. Any sort of end-of-the-season award, you have to play at least 65 games, right? And Tyrese Haliburton didn't like that. He called it stupid, and I see why. Because he was injured, legitimate injured, and it's not fair to him, and it's not fair to players that get injured left and right. But here's the thing. The thing is, there's so many players these days that just want to sit out games. They could be fully healthy, but they just want to sit out the game because they don't feel like it. Oh, I don't feel like it, this and that. And Stephen A. Smith made a good point, even though a lot of people don't like Stephen A. Smith. But he made a good point bringing up the players from the 90s and the 80s and stuff. And he was talking about how these players were always playing. They had so many seasons of 82 games or so many seasons playing at least 75 games, right? And now these days you can look at these players and they're not playing that many games. And are they necessarily injured? I don't want to say yes, I don't want to say no, because I don't know what's going on with them. Like, I don't know their lives, so I don't want to say he's faking an injury or he's not healthy or whatever. But there are instances where players just decide to sit out the game and not play. Recently, a lot of people are going after Joel Embiid for literally the day of the game against Denver. He decided to sit out the game. Was he injured? No. The NBA is literally looking into that. But that's what Stephen A. Smith is upset about. How players these days are sitting out games, and it's ruining the sport of basketball. It's ruining fan interest, because I don't remember if I ever talked about load management in earlier episodes, but you have fans that are just casual fans that go there to the games not to necessarily watch the game of basketball, but to go there to watch their favorite players. That's not everybody. That's not. But I think maybe, I don't want to say half, but a lot of fans are just there to see their favorite players play. And then when you find out that your favorite player is not playing that game, what's the point? I just spent all this money to go see LeBron play, or Luka play, or Trae Young, or you get what I mean? I spent all this money to go see this player play, and he's not even playing. He wasn't on the injury list a couple days ago, but now it's just announced like 15 minutes before the game starts, he's not gonna play. That's not fair. That's really not fair to all the fans out there. And a lot of people love to argue that, oh, resting players prevents load management, but it's already been seen that resting players does not prevent load management. It really doesn't. So what is resting players doing? It's not doing anything. And in my opinion, I feel like these NBA players, these stars, are now like getting to a point of entitlement because they're getting these large amounts of money. They're signing these $200 million contracts. Jaylen Brown out here signing $305 million for the next 5 years, right? 4 or 5 years. Why play? My money's guaranteed. Why play? So I see why it's 65 games, and I'm for that 65 games, because now it's like you guys weren't playing, and it's not all NBA players. It's only like a small percent of NBA players that do this, but it's those players that really ruined it for the rest of the league, because now somebody could be legitimate injured, a star could be legitimate injured, and now he's not going to be able to get that All-NBA selection. He won't be able to get that MVP, or he won't be able to get nominated for Defensive Player of the Year. And it's these awards that are in your contract. You get these awards, you get these nominations, whatever. That's more money for you. And now because that you didn't get to 65 games, because you got to like 50 games or you got to 57 games, now you can't be under consideration for All-NBA second team, even though you were one of the best players in the league. We got to remember that the NBA is a business. It's entertainment, but it's a business first. And once money is being compromised, that's when changes are going to be made. So yeah, it is unfortunate that Tyrese Haliburton may not be under consideration for All-NBA or MVP or whatever, right? Even though, in my opinion, he's still a dark horse for MVP, but I don't think he's going to win it this season. But it's sad that he may not be under consideration for the All-NBA team because of those injuries. But you got to remember that those players that are currently playing right now, just a couple years ago, that decided to sit out games, that's the reason why. That's why. And right now, I don't want to talk about All-Stars too much, because I want to save that for a different episode. But Rising Stars Challenge, that roster has been revealed. Well, not the roster, but the player pool has been revealed. All-Star starters have been revealed. We've got the bench for the All-Star game coming out soon. The roster reveal for the celebrity game, even though today Jennifer Hudson announced that she's gonna be in the celebrity game. I'll have my rant for the celebrity game when the whole roster comes out. Let's see what else. We're gonna get the 3-point contest players, the dunk contest, the skills challenge, all of that stuff. All right, and when all of that comes out, that's when I'm gonna have that All-Star episode, and I'm gonna have my rants because I got a lot to talk about when it comes to All-Star Weekend. I got a lot of complaints to make for the All-Star Weekend, I'll say. So I'm gonna save that for when everything gets revealed. And for now, we already know all of that stuff. And back to player pool, not for the Rising Stars Challenge, but for Team USA. The Team USA player pool was revealed last week, and head coach Steve Kerr, even though I don't see why Steve Kerr is coaching Team USA, assistant coach Mark Few, who's the coach of Gonzaga, Tyronn Lue, and Eric Spoelstra. Man, give Spo the head coaching role, please. Come, Spo is a better coach than Steve Kerr. Yeah, Steve Kerr got more rings, but it's Steve Kerr. You know what? No, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm not even gonna talk about Steve Kerr like that. We're talking about the player pool. So here's the player pool featuring 28 players for Team USA. This is not the roster. These are just the players who are going to be on the roster, possibly. All right. So we got Bam Adebayo, we got Jared Allen, Paulo Banchero, we got Desmond Bane, Scotty Barnes, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Jimmy Butler, Alex Caruso, Steph Curry, we got Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, Joel Embiid, De'Aaron Fox, Paul George, Aaron Gordon, Tyrese Haliburton, James Harden, Josh Hart, Tyler Hero, Drew Holiday, Chet Holmgren, Brandon Ingram, Kyrie Irving, Jaren Jackson Jr., LeBron, Cam Johnson, Walker Kessler, Kawhi Leonard, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Chris Paul, Bobby Portis, Austin Reeves, Duncan Robinson, Jason Tatum, Derek White, and Trae Young. That's the player pool. So, and who do I think is gonna be on Team USA? Well, for starters, obviously LeBron, Steph Curry, obviously. There's KD, yeah, KD's gonna be on there. I think Jimmy Butler's going to be there. Anthony Davis, definitely. Joel Embiid is a lock. Why? Because he's the only true center on the team. And Walker Kessler and Chet Holmgren. But Chet Holmgren, I'm not here to talk bad about Chet Holmgren, but he's skinny, bro. You see those other centers around the world? Nah. Maybe he could be backup, yeah. But Embiid is a lock because we need a big man. That's where we struggled in the FIBA World Cup. We didn't have a big man. And by big man, let me be specific. A center. Because in my opinion, Bam is a power forward. He is not a center. He is a 6'9" player, all right? He's 6'9". He was getting out-rebounded. And no. We need a big body, all right? And Joel Embiid is a big body player. So I said LeBron. I said KD. Who did I think? Kyrie. I think I said Kyrie. Steph Curry is a lock, definitely. Damian Lillard is going to be there. Let me see. Jason Tatum, yeah. I could see Jimmy Butler possibly being there as well. Devin Booker as well. Maybe James Harden. I doubt it though. Tyrese most likely will be there if he wants to play. Most likely they're gonna have Tyrese Haliburton. Who else? Who do I think is gonna be on Team USA? Maybe Paulo. I believe Bam is gonna be on the team. I think I said Anthony Davis already, but if I didn't, yes, Anthony Davis. I do believe Anthony Davis will be there. I'm not even counting how many players I just listed, all right? So somebody please count for me because I believe you can only have like 14, 15 players on the team. So, yeah, I probably went over 10 already. I probably went over 15. Who knows? I don't know. I wasn't counting. I think I said Paul George, but if I didn't, Paul George. I said Jalen Brunson, right? And my memory is not the best, all right? Okay, so Jalen Brunson, if I didn't say him, I'm out here listing everybody on the dang list. So, nah, let me not list everybody. But then again, there are people that may not want to play for Team USA. They may not want to play in the Olympics. Maybe they have other things going on. Maybe they just don't feel like it. Maybe they just want to rest for the summer. So anything could happen. So we just got to be aware that can happen. So I don't know when the roster will be revealed, but those are the players that I'm looking out for that'll be on the team. One more player that I'm gonna say, Derek White. Watch out for Derek White. And this is the last thing that I want to talk about. So last episode, I gave my top 10. I gave my top 10 players of all time. And so many people were upset that I said LeBron was number one. LeBron is the GOAT. Oh, yeah. Oh, what do you know about basketball? LeBron James not the GOAT. It's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Jordan's the GOAT. Oh, man, Jordan the greatest player of all time. I don't care what you say. LeBron James only got 4 rings. Michael Jordan is 6-0. And I can tell that you don't watch basketball, you youngin'. You don't watch basketball. Michael Jordan was one of the greatest. Hell no, not one of the greatest. He's the greatest player of all time. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. LeBron will never touch him. He'll never reach the status of Michael Jordan. And to that, my fellow basketball viewers, I would like to say that LeBron James is the GOAT, okay? It's okay. It's okay. I know that you're so hurt and your butt hurt that I didn't say Jordan is the GOAT. LeBron's not the GOAT. Oh my God. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Oh, but what about the 2011 finals where he couldn't even outscore Jason Terry? I'm not going to lie to y'all. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. But Michael Jordan didn't come back 3-1. Oh, but Michael Jordan, he averaged 40 points a game in the NBA finals. Nobody's ever done that before. And LeBron James averaged a triple-double in the finals. Nobody's ever done that before. And literally the finals after that, which was in 2015 and in 2016, LeBron James led both teams in points, rebounds, steals, assists, and blocks. Nobody has ever done that in the finals, and still nobody has ever done that since. Oh man, let me tell you something. Michael Jordan is a 10-time scoring champion. LeBron James can't do that. Michael Jordan, for his career, has averaged at least, not even at least, he has averaged 30 points a game, and that is the highest career average in points per game. Well, to that, I'd like to say LeBron James is a pass-first player, while Michael Jordan is a score-first player. Okay, every season besides his rookie season, LeBron James has been averaging at least 25 points per game. And with those 25 points per game, LeBron James has been religiously averaging between 6 to 10 assists per game. His second season in the Lakers, he was averaging 25 points and 10 assists per game. Okay, remember when LeBron James scored 30? He averaged 30 points a game with Cleveland, and he won the scoring title, and he was also averaging 7 assists per game. You don't remember that? Oh well, Jordan was averaging 32. He was averaging 35. He was averaging 33 points per game. You can't say nothing about that. Huh? What about that? What LeBron James gonna do? Well, Michael Jordan was also averaging a lot more shot attempts per game. Michael Jordan was averaging about 4 to 5 more shots per game than LeBron James. So there's that too. There's that. Like I said, Jordan is a score first. LeBron, he's pass first. And he's still averaging 25 points per game while being pass first. Well, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan won. He won Defensive Player of the Year. LeBron James ain't never do that. You want to know why LeBron ain't never do that? Because they gave Defensive Player of the Year to somebody that won second team all defense in 2013. Imagine this. LeBron James and Hakeem Olajuwon are the only players in NBA history to win a title, an MVP, and a Defensive Player of the Year award in the same season. You see how that sounds? That sounds great. But because Michael Jordan is not on that list, of course they weren't going to give that to LeBron James. Oh, well, you see, Jordan is still undefeated in the NBA Finals. What about LeBron James? LeBron got a losing finals record. Okay, let's see. Well, 2007, he was going up against the San Antonio Spurs, but what good teammates did he really have, huh? No all-star teammates, by the way. No all-star teammates. So there's that. 2011, there's no excuse. I'll say that. 2011, no excuse. 2012 and 2013, he won. 2014, he cramped up in game 1, and Wade was injury prone. Chris Bosh was getting old, so there's that as well. 2015, he didn't have his teammates. He didn't have Kyrie Irving. He didn't have Kevin Love. 2016, he did come back from a 3-1 deficit, which Jordan did not do. 2017 and 2018, he faced a super team. Did Jordan do that? I don't think so. When Jordan was facing the Boston Celtics in the playoffs, he was getting booted. He was getting booted out. So when Jordan was by himself, he wasn't doing much. He didn't make it to the finals by himself. LeBron made it to the finals by himself twice. Yeah, he lost, but those were superior teams. Well, let me tell you something, okay? Michael Jordan won 5 MVPs. LeBron James only got 4. What you got to say about that? Well, let me say this, okay? If James Harden wasn't going effing crazy in 2018, you telling me LeBron wouldn't won MVP in 2018, bruh? 25, no, not 25, 27. How about 27 points per game while averaging 8 and 9 as well with a steal? Huh? How about averaging 54% from the field that season and 36% from three? Really? You don't think LeBron could have won MVP? And let me tell you something. Let me say this. 2018 playoff LeBron, let me say that. If the Cavs won that final series, there ain't nothing nobody could really say that Jordan is the GOAT. Well, let me tell you this, okay? Let me tell you this. He's not the GOAT. He didn't win that final series. Yeah, he didn't win that final series because he faced the super team. You think Michael Jordan was going to be the super team? I don't think so. But let me tell you this right now. LeBron James right now, at the ripe age of 39 years old, is averaging 24.9 points per game, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds. Think about that. 39 years old. 39. 52% from the field and almost 40% from three. How about that? Was Jordan doing that? Of course not. When Jordan was 39, which is the season that he retired actually for the second time, he was averaging 24. Not 24. He was averaging 20 points per game on 44% shooting and 29% from three. And people want to talk about Jordan's free throw. His three-point percentage, because Jordan averaged 42% from three in 1996. Yeah, the 3-point line was closer. So, yeah, how about that? Well, let me tell you something. Michael Jordan is a 9-time all-defensive player, okay? Michael Jordan is 9-time all-defensive. LeBron, where LeBron at? He's 6-time all-defensive. So, Jordan was the better perimeter defender. Well, yes, I will say Jordan is the better perimeter defender, but, LeBron was also guarding players in the paint too, right? Jordan, yeah, he was a perimeter player. LeBron, he was also guarding center sometimes, especially when he was in Miami, because those were his dominant years. And are we forgetting that LeBron in 2013 was so close to becoming the first unanimous MVP? And honestly, he could have been the second. If Shaq won it in 2000, he could have been the first unanimous MVP actually. But LeBron also had the case of becoming the first unanimous MVP in 2013. Oh, all you giving is what ifs. You're giving what ifs. Oh, LeBron could have done this. Brown could have done that. It ain't happened. Jordan won 6 rings. Undefeated in the NBA Finals. Okay? LeBron, he makes his teammates worse. Oh, he makes his teammates worse. Really? What evidence? What evidence does LeBron make his teammates worse? Well, every time LeBron James go to a team, how come everybody always go downhill? They free throw percentage, they shooting percentage, they points per game, they numbers that be going down. Let me say this, okay? Do you not know about pressure? Pressure? A lot of players handle pressure differently. And when you have the pressure to bring a championship to a team, because LeBron is on your team, because you have championship expectations. That's the thing. LeBron makes a team a title contender, all right? LeBron gives a team championship expectations. Were the Wizards champion? Did they have championship expectations when Jordan was on the Wizards? No, of course not. And I was forgetting that Jordan literally mentally abused Kwame Brown. He abused them mentally. Okay, the man was coming out of high school. His brain wasn't even fully developed yet, bruh. And you got 37, 38, 39-year-old Michael Jordan screaming at you because you couldn't do this or you couldn't do that. Man didn't even give you time to develop, bruh. So who really makes teammates worse? Well, I remember Chris Bosh and Kevin Love, before they went to team up with LeBron James, they used to be all-star players. And they were all-star players while playing with LeBron. What's your point? Well, their numbers went down. It's called team sacrifice. Are you kidding me? It's called a sacrifice. Huh? That's a dumb take. I mean, if it means the team's success, A lot of players are willing to take a sacrifice. They're willing to take a pay cut. I mean, Dirk's been taking pay cuts. Tim Duncan was taking pay cuts. Why? Because it meant the team was going to get better. I remember when LeBron went to Miami, that really pissed me off because he out here forming super teams like a little girl. Like Michael Jordan ain't do that. Jordan ain't form no super teams. He ain't do that. He had Scottie Pippen. He had Scottie Pippen. You know they traded for that pick, right? they traded for that Scottie Pippen pick because Jordan was tired of losing. So he had the front office behind his back. LeBron ain't have that. LeBron spent 2003 from 2000. Not even, let me not say 2003 because that was the year he got drafted. He spent 2004 all the way to 2009. 2004 to 2010. Yeah, 2004 to 2010. Just getting booted out in the second round, making the finals one time, getting booted out in the conference finals, and the Cavs couldn't get no picks. They couldn't get no play. They gave him an old, busted, out of his prime Shaquille O'Neal. What is that gonna do? What is that gonna do for him? Nothing. They couldn't get him anybody, so he left. So yeah, was the move to Miami questionable? Of course it was. Was it controversial? Very controversial. But that's what happens when the team is not on your side. And then that's when Cleveland learned to, help LeBron James out to get some good players. And then we're going to forget the fact that Kevin Durant did something way worse than that. Oh, no, I didn't forget that. But we talk about LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, he ain't never formed no super team. No, he ain't do that. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. But, I mean, if you're constantly losing and the team is not doing anything for you, eventually you're just going to snap. You hear that? You said losing. That's what LeBron James has been doing all the time. He been losing, especially in the finals. Why do people make it seem like 8 straight finals appearances is so easy? They making it seem like that is terrible. That man went to 8 straight NBA finals. Okay? 8 straight. Jordan ain't do that. And let's be real. If Jordan ain't retire and go play some baseball, he wasn't gonna beat the Rockets. Nope. He would have to outscore the Rockets himself because the Bulls were always weak on the center position. So Hakeem was just gonna eat. Give the food to the big fella. Y'all old heads saw what he did to David Robinson. So come on now. You really think he wasn't gonna do that to Bill Wellington or whatever center was playing for the Bulls in the mid-90s? And let's not forget, LeBron James is the first player in NBA history to get 20 All-Star appearances. 20-time All-Star LeBron, okay? 20-time All-Star. And he's very close to 40,000 career points. Let's not forget that LeBron had to deal with a lockout season. And he also had to deal with the COVID season. So, yeah, he still made it to almost 40,000 points so far. And there were seasons where he didn't even have a chance to play 82 games. Let's not forget that LeBron James is the all-time leader in points generated. And for those that don't know, that's literally just points, your points, and the points that you assisted on. That's points generated. Number 1 all-time in playoff points. Number 4 all-time in career assists. Number 2 all-time in playoff assists. All-time leader in playoff steals. 4th all-time in playoff rebounds as well. So he's up there. So stop playing with LeGoat. LeGoat James, all right? LeGoat. He ain't no GOAT. Michael Jordan will always be the GOAT. He'll always be the GOAT, okay? I don't care what LeBron James do. He could win another championship. I don't give a damn. He's not even top 5 on my list. Old heads will always be old heads. Brown haters will always be brown haters. And that's all I got for y'all today. So, I'm out.